Hello my friends from Mundo Enneagram. I'm Uranio Paes and I'm here in this rainy morning in London to talk about the third key for Enneagram transformation. And I decided to talk about this under this very Londonish rain because I'm going to talk about influences and to put yourself in harsh environment, under a harsh influence to promote your inner growth, to get out of your comfort zone to do the work you need to do. So the third key for Enneagram transformation is put yourself under the right influence and challenge yourself a little bit more. So what is the first degree of influence? Well, if you are committed to not only knowing your type, but also transforming yourself, which is actually what the Enneagram work is, go to the first level of influence, which is having a therapist or a very good coach, provided that the coaching process is not that shallow one, only with goals and results, but also with self-development, true inner work. So some people go do all possible kinds of spiritual work without doing therapy. And what happens sometimes is a disaster, because they unveil some powers on themselves without having a good psychological basis, and they actually sometimes become dangerous people. And I suggest that no one tries to bypass plain therapy work. And I suggest that nobody tries to bypass the most important kind of therapy work, which is working with your dad and your mom, and all the things, all the traumas and all the things that you carry with you about those early relationships. So this is not to be bypassed, and it's very serious. You need to do that. And if you have a coach, sometimes you get challenged in a very good way too. So you need someone external to help you out with this process. But then you may need to go to the second degree of influence, which is to have an intimate relationship or to have very close friendship relationships in which you will get challenged. In which those people will know not only the best in you, but also your shadows. And they will be committed to help you wake up and get out of the comfort zone and become someone more committed to your inner work. So having relationships that challenge you is vital. And by the way, I'm mentioning these 4 degrees of influence, influenced myself by some Sufi work done by my wonderful Sufi Enneagram teacher from Argentina, Abdul Karim Baldino. He talks about the 4 degrees of influence in Sufism, and what I'm talking about is like that. I'm just adding a few things like saying that perhaps a coach, depending on how the coaching is done, can come into the place of the therapist. Okay, but what is the third degree? The third degree of influence is a spiritual group. Gurdjieff already said in his time that it's not that the group is useful or important, it's essential. Without the group, there is no continuation in any inner work path. And this is because in a lifetime we don't have enough time to do what we need to do. And therefore we need other people doing part of the work for us. And they are people from our groups. So it's quite important to get closer to people, and not only to people you like, but some people who challenge you. And by the way, it's wise if in a certain point you start getting closer and closer to whoever pushes your buttons. Getting closer to whoever you sense or feel or call the enemy, because this will show many important things about yourself. And then the 4th degree of influence, if you have done all of that, there is no way, no bypass. You need to choose and commit to a specific spiritual path. And in my view, making sure you don't mix up too many spiritual paths, because our ego takes control of that process, and we choose only the things that are lighter for us to do. By committing to one specific spiritual path, you will be putting yourself under a very sound set of tools, concepts, and the right influence to promote your inner development even further. And it may be a religious path or not, maybe just a mystical path. And there are many different paths. You need to find yours. So where are you in terms of the influences you've put yourself under? And what is your next step? Think about that while you wait for the 4th video on the keys for Enneagram transformation. Because now I'm going home to protect myself from the rain. Bye.